Now, 3 people were killed and at least 62 others wounded in 2 explosions on passenger buses in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, yesterday. Sunday's attack was the second in Kenya in as many days. On Saturday, a grenade hurled into a bus in the coastal city of Mombasa claimed 4 and wounded 15. There's a second blast near a beachfront hotel, but no one was hurt. Recent violence has been blamed by the Kenyan government on Somali Islamist group Al-Shabaab. Kenya has come under attack 87 times since 2011. On Tech 5 tonight, Enoch Makanga, a security expert with GM Security, and he takes us through our preparedness and what we should look out for in these times of heightened terror threats. Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter and SMS. Our hashtag is NTV Tech 5. Get us on our Facebook page, NTV Uganda. Our SMS number is 6565. Remember to begin with Tech 5 or send us an email on tech5@ntvuganda.co.ug. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Makanga, for joining us on NTV Tech 5 tonight.
Thank you very much.
Well, could you briefly run us through your thoughts on the blasts in Mombasa and in Nairobi this past weekend?
What we can see is that these guys have now changed tact, and they are targeting soft targets. That is where they know they will rarely find policemen. And the other time it was in a church. Now we're now looking at buses, and this means something is not right. Something is not right. I think the Kenya police needs just to think outside the box. They need to move closer to members of the public. Let them get to teach members of the public what things they need to look for, and not just telling members of the public that when you see something suspicious, you have to report. I think that's now a blanket statement. Things have reached at a very alarming stage, and something has to be done.
Change of tactics.
Yes, either somebody is sleeping on the job, or people are not just serious about what they're supposed to do.
Well, you're a security expert and you are living in Uganda.
Yes.
How prepared is Uganda to deal with a situation like this?
I think I'm proud to say that, yes, I'm a Kenyan working in Uganda, but I'm proud to say Uganda has done an excellent job. If you try to evaluate its security systems, if you check at the airport, things are just tight. When you get at the airport, you are screened by counterterrorism police before you are checked by the aviation police. And at the end of the day, that's what is supposed to be done. You make the life of the terrorist so difficult that by the time he wants to come in, he finds he will be discovered. Secondly, Uganda has done very well in terms of strengthening its immigration. If a very good example, if you just go at Busia, when you go at Busia, you will find that the migration guys are working on the passport, and just beside them, there is the counterterrorism police. That's the opposite. Immediately you cross to Kenya, yeah, you'll only find the immigration guys, no policemen. And if they are there, they are busy controlling vehicles. This just shows you how serious Uganda is on this threat, and how lax Kenya is. And this is why we're having problems. Although Kenya has a different, let me say, the tactical disadvantage because of being closer to Somali, where on the borders you cannot be able to distinguish between a Kenyan Somali and a Somali from Somali. That puts Kenya in a very awkward position as far as terror is concerned. However, I mean, it is their responsibility to make sure that they protect their citizens, and they put in place serious security measures, more tougher than Uganda, because they are more closer to the enemy. And that's where I think people have missed the point.
Well, when you speak of Kenyans, the Kenyan police missing the point, or the officials in charge of this, there's a lot that's trending on Twitter, and most of it is negative things about the Kenyan president not being in the country at that particular time when the country seemed to have needed him the most. He was going to Nigeria. In fact, what's trending right now is End Game Somalia, someone tell Uhuru Kenyatta, and things like that. Was it a good time for him to be out of the country?
Of course, that's now a government statement, which I don't think I can be able to comment on it. But as a security expert, what I know is the president needs to put these guys in charge of security on top of, they must be on top of the game. Yeah, this is not a joking subject. This is not a joking subject. Yeah, if you look at the way things have moved since the West ticket, you look at how things are just moving on. I mean, somebody's just playing on the job. Somebody's not serious about this job. Yeah, and people must be fired. We're talking about security. People must be fired. If the security of the country is not moving well, I mean, it affects the economy. I can assure you, if you go to Mombasa now, hotels are closing down. And Mombasa is a town that entirely depends on tourism. Yes, it depends on tourism. So you chase away tourists, I mean, a lot of Kenyans have no jobs.
Well, Mr. Makanga, security cannot be everywhere all of the time. What do people do to ensure that they are safe?
Okay, the one thing that I've lied Ugandans is that Ugandans are patriotic. This comes to me, I'm a Kenyan, but I'm proud to say that. You cannot walk with a gun and the police don't report you. Members of the public don't report you. You cannot walk with a grenade and members of the public don't report you. Yeah. On the other side, you can find that somebody can come, hire a house, continue planning terrorist activities, and nobody cares.
The neighbors don't know who lives
there. That
is
the thing. In here, it will just come out, and people will have to put your name. Maybe you'll be taken to police, and that is the thing. And that's why I'm telling you that from the Kenyan side, this thing requires holistic approach. One, police have to change the Vasco da Gama way of doing things. Because they are going the proactive way, the reactive way. Instead of involving the media, I like it with the way Uganda government has done. They really involved the media. You really ran so many stories about terrorism. The New Vision, for example, they were running a whole page just trying to tell members of the public what they're supposed to see. This is not happening in Kenya.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Makanga, for taking the time to speak with us on NTV Tech 5.
Thank you so
Unfortunately,
much.
Ran out of time.
Thank you so much.
I have been speaking to Enoch Makanga, who is a security expert, and he has been giving us an update on what has been happening in Kenya and how Uganda can learn from what has happened in Kenya to be better at their security.